Today, I want to talk to you about AI safety. Generative AI is already changing the way that we interact with the world. You and me are already using large language models to answer everyday questions, get opinions, code, analyze sentiment. Analyze sentiment? Are normal people doing that? I'm not actually doing that. Anyways, or do research. But should we go so quietly into the light of AI, or should we keep a more critical eye on the dangers that lie ahead? I only recently started using tools like Perplexica, which is an open source version of Perplexity, which is itself like an AI driven search and answer engine. So it will go on the internet and then find data and then correlate it with an AI, blah, 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 blah. And I've been using that to boost my own ability to research things. The results are high quality, so much so that when I started using it, I just laughed out loud because I was like, wow, this is what I have always wanted to getting out of the whole AI LLM experience. It makes things quicker, but it could still be wrong. It still gives incorrect information sometimes. There's footnotes and links that are wrong, and that's fine. The problem is, if we intrinsically believe or assume that LLMs or AIs will give you the right answer, or assume that it can't give you the wrong answer because it's a computer, that becomes a problem. And here's the thing. It's not always easy, and in fact, it can be really difficult to tell if an AI is giving you incorrect information because it's hallucinating, or if it's giving you incorrect information on purpose. A few months ago, I did an interview with an organization, and as part of that, they asked me to do a presentation on risks, like AI risks in their organization based on how they used it. One of the scenarios that I came up with was rogue AI, and I had to caveat that scenario saying, I'm not talking about Skynet. But at the same time, I was telling them that, rogue AI might be something accidental or something intentional, and that was something they needed to protect against. Lo and behold, I did this in mid-November, and about a month later, a paper came out of Apollo Research where they investigated several AIs, some are state-of-the-art AIs, and found that they could do in-context scheming and deceiving users. I felt so validated when I saw that because I was like, oh, well, my crazy kind of idea about what AIs could do has now been validated. Now, there is a lot of caveats to that. And of course, as part of this research, there was a lot of prompting and setting up to do that. But it meant that it was possible and that it wouldn't always be obvious. In fact, it might be quite obscure that it was happening. This is part of the AI misalignment problem, a core safety issue that's related to other things like interpretability and explainability. I think I could probably do a longer video about that, or about the various themes, but I wanted this video to be a little bit more concise. So, what I really want to do is just tell you that there are real concerns and to create a space where we can explore those and rationally work around them. LLMs are rapidly proliferating. Have done, currently is. There's literally over 1 million models on Hugging Face right now. I would say that ship is probably sailed. So have rapidly proliferated and are continuing to do so. Some of those models are completely independent from the big names that you might know, like Meta, Mistral, Alibaba, DeepSeek. And some of them are fine-tunings on some of those models, like fine-tunings of Llama 3. This is absolutely awesome. I have personally benefited from this proliferation, and it's these models, these open source models, that I use. But do we know what's being proliferated? Can I reasonably understand all of the training data that's gone, all of the training methods and the fine-tuning that has been put into these models? Can we understand that enough to make sure that it's aligned for our uses? If you're a smooth brain like me, probably not. So what can you do? I don't think I'm an AI doomer, but I'm definitely a bit cautious. I think this technology is here to stay, and I also think we need to figure out a way to integrate this technology collectively with purpose and forethought. Practically speaking, what you can do and what I'm trying to do is make sure that you verify what you get out of these large language models, what you get out of an AI. If you don't have the domain knowledge to do that, maybe get some help. I still think that the best use of AI today is to enhance our own productivity, our own abilities, and not to try to completely replace it, even if there's like a lot of talk about that for big tech. Second, be aware, and I dare say a bit suspicious about what data is going into AI systems and what data is coming out. If you're working in an organization, try to set up some guardrails about that. Try to make sure that you actually investigate how you're using these systems. There is a lot of guidance out there on that, including some collaboration that I did back in 2021 with IAB's Tech Lab on understanding bias in AI. Documents and papers like that will definitely help you to set up the right kind of structures in an organization to make sure that you're actively investigating how you're going to use AI and what data goes in and out. Thirdly, pay attention to what regulatory bodies are saying about AI. I like to think about this like our collective journey towards privacy. At first, and when I mean at first, I mean like 20, 30 years ago, we cared about privacy, and then we stopped caring as the internet grew and we started trading our privacy for free stuff like free email and whatnot. And then there was a shift change and things like GDPR and other similar regulations came by. Now, that was difficult for the public and for organizations and put a lot of pressure, and sometimes it was like frustrating. However, the net benefit to the public about being back in control over the data and not letting any organization do whatever they want for any purposes, sometimes purposes undefined with your data, is really, really powerful. So we need to start doing the same thing and paying attention to the organizations that are doing that for AI. Did you know that governments are setting up or have already stood up AI safety departments, like the UK's AI Safety Institute? Try to be informed, even if it's just passively. I rewrote this script so many times because I have a lot to say about this. I'm really passionate about it. But I'm going to end it there. I feel like it's more important that you and I walk away with a seed of an idea and let that germinate. And maybe in the future, we'll revisit some AI safety topics and themes in more detail. That's all for now. Bye.